Ever notice how everyone's telling you being single is this amazing journey of self-discovery while you're sitting there at 11 p.m. watching couples TikToks wondering if you're actually broken? Like your boys are getting engaged, your ex just posted with her new dude, and you're here Googling, why am I still single at 2 a.m. like it's a medical condition. But here's what nobody's telling you. That uncomfortable feeling, that restlessness, it's not a bug, it's a feature. And once you understand what's actually happening, being single stops feeling like you're losing and starts feeling like you're loading up for something way bigger. Let me show you what I mean. Sign number one, you're not behind. You're building different. You're scrolling through wedding photos, engagement announcements, we're expecting posts, and it feels like everyone got the memo except you. Society's got this timeline, right? Graduate, job, girlfriend, marriage, kids, like we're all speed running the same life, and when you're not hitting those checkpoints, it feels like you're stuck at the loading screen while everyone else is already at the boss fight. Dude, you know what those guys in relationships aren't doing right now? Whatever the hell they want. I'm not saying relationships are prison, but let's be real. Your married buddy? He's not randomly booking a flight to Costa Rica next week. He's not switching careers on a Tuesday. He's not staying up till 4 a.m. learning something weird just because it looked interesting. You're not behind. You're literally in the only phase of life where you can pivot without asking permission. That's not cope. That's leverage. Bro, I once felt so bad about being single, I almost dated someone who collected dolls. Dolls, like horror movie amounts of dolls. Thank God for post-nut clarity. Sign number two. Your standards aren't too high. They're finally accurate. Your friends keep saying, just give her a chance, or you're too picky when you turn down another perfectly fine match. Because rejecting someone decent feels arrogant. Like, who are you to say no when you're literally single? You know that voice in your head that goes, meh, when you're swiping? That's not pickiness. That's pattern recognition. You've probably been in enough situations to know the difference between she's attractive and I actually want to know what she thinks about at 3 a.m. Most guys in relationships, they committed before they knew the difference. You're single because you learned it. That's not a weakness. That's emotional intelligence most dudes take till their 40s to develop. Stop apologizing for having standards. Next time someone says you're too picky, hit them with, nah, I'm just allergic to forcing it. Sign number three, you're scary good at being alone, and that's elite. Friday night, no plans, and instead of panicking, you're actually kind of excited about it. Because apparently eating alone at restaurants means you're lonely and going to movies solo is depressing. You've done something most people literally cannot do. You've become your own best company. You know how many dudes are in relationships right now because they're terrified of silence? Because they need someone else to validate that they're interesting? You can sit with yourself. No distractions, no validation, just you. That's not antisocial. That's self-sufficient. And when you do get into a relationship, you won't be that needy dude texting what you doing every 20 minutes because you'll already be whole. Real talk. When did you realize being alone actually felt good? Drop it in the comments. Bet it surprised you too. Sign number four, your growth rate is on steroids. You look at yourself from a year ago and barely recognize that dude. Because glow-ups are supposed to be for getting someone, not for being alone. Every hour you're not compromising, negotiating, or managing someone else's emotions, that's pure development time. While your coupled friends are having the same fight about dishes for the 47th time, you're literally rebuilding yourself from scratch. New gym routine? Done. Career pivot? Why not? Random skill that serves no purpose except it's cool? You've got three. You're not distracted, you're directed. And that compound interest on self-improvement, it's about to pay out huge. Being single isn't a waiting room for a relationship. It's a workshop where you're building someone worth dating. Sign number five, you're actually ready. Most aren't. You catch yourself not even wanting to date until you meet someone actually worth it. Because most people date from desperation. You're dating from abundance, even if that abundance is just being cool with yourself. You've accidentally achieved what every relationship coach charges $500 to teach, outcome independence. You want a relationship, but you don't need one. You're not trying to fill a void, fix loneliness, or prove something. When you do meet someone, you'll choose them, not because you're lonely, bored, or hitting 30, but because they genuinely add something to a life that's already good. That's not single, that's selective. My ex once said I'd die alone. Plot twist. I'm living alone, and it's actually fire. Dying might be negotiable though. Here's what we need to stop doing. Treating being single like it's a problem to solve, like you're broken and need fixing. Nah, you're not single because you're not good enough. You're single because you're good enough to wait for what actually works. There's a massive difference between being alone and being lonely. And right now, you might be alone, but you're building something most people in relationships don't have, a complete person who doesn't need someone else to feel whole. Which one of these hit different? I'm betting it's the one you needed to hear today. Look, I get it. Being single when you don't want to be, it sucks. Watching everyone else seemingly figure it out while you're still here, brutal. But what if you're not behind? You're just building different. What if all this time alone isn't a punishment, it's preparation? What if the discomfort you're feeling isn't because something's wrong with you, but because you're actually growing past who you used to be? You're not failing at relationships. You're succeeding at becoming someone worth being in one with. And when you finally meet someone who gets that, someone who matches that energy you've been building, man, they're not ready for what you're about to bring. Drop a comment with the one thing you've gained from being single that you'd never trade. Bet it's bigger than you realized. See you in the next one.